Welcome back to Grow With Angie. We're going to be talking about Bluelab. Bluelab is one of the top of the line when it comes to testing your water for your hydroponics. Everything from the truncheon, which I did a video on not too long ago. I'm not going to be talking about this bad boy today. Well, not much. What we're going to be focusing on is the pH pen. I'm so excited to have this. We're going to go over 5 different reasons why this lands at the top of my list for pH meters. First, let's talk about why pH is so important when you're growing hydroponically. pH is the acidity or the alkaline in your water. If your plants don't like the acid or the alkaline in the water, they're not going to uptake your nutrients. As you've seen in a couple of my other videos, I am starting to use the Bluelab truncheon, which is EC only. I want you guys to know it only tests the nutrients, so it has it in EC and ppm conversions. But pH is very, very important for your plants. It can burn out your lettuces, it can kill off your tomatoes if you have it too high or too low. Measuring pH is something that we want to make sure that we're doing all the time. Temperature is also important with your water. If your temperature is too hot or if it's too cold, it can also change the ability of your plants to absorb your nutrients. The Bluelab also has a temperature reading on the pH pen. Let's go over 5 things that I find really amazing with this pH pen, and then I'm going to give you a 6th one that could be amazing or maybe not. So let's talk about those right now. Number 1, your Bluelab pH pen is totally waterproof. I'm talking waterproof, not water resistant. Waterproof means that it not only floats in water if you accidentally drop it, but it also can be totally submerged. It's not going to do anything to the electronic reading on the front, and it won't damage the batteries. Now, this one has had issues where my screen will get fogged up because it's just gotten too much water or I've dropped it. And I don't know if maybe the batteries have been affected, but this one can get a little wonky from time to time. Number 2, this one has an automatic off button, which means if you turn it on, it's gonna automatically turn off. So if for some reason you walk away from your plants or you're adjusting your nutrients, it's gonna shut off, which actually helps save the batteries. Which leads me to number 3. Number 3 is the fact that it uses 1 AAA battery. Now in a unit like this, it comes with watch batteries. And a lot of us don't have these types of batteries just laying around our house, but a lot of us can go out and grab AAA batteries, or you might have spares. That makes this a big plus for me that it uses just standard batteries. Number 4, these are made for abuse. This can be dropped, it can be banged on, it can be thrown across the room, which hopefully you wouldn't do that, but it can take the abuse. Now let's talk about number 5, which is the calibration. Calibrating your pH meter is very important. Now, a pH meter like this one comes with a 3-point calibration, which means there are 3 little packets that you have to try and calibrate with. One is 6.86, one is 9.18, and one is 4.01. Not only do you have to take those and put them in distilled water or filtered water, mix them up and calibrate it to each individual one to then balance out calibration. Who has the time? I've been honest with you guys all the time with this. I've never calibrated it, and who knows if it's been right or not. I ended up using the pH drops or the pH little sticks that you could put into your water, and that's how I've been doing my pH for a while, and I knew it was time to get one of these. I'm going to show you a close-up look of what it's like to calibrate your Bluelab. First, you notice that there are instructions right on the back of the unit. Then you're going to have a 2-point calibration, one being a 7.0 and the other being a 4.0. It's super easy. You're gonna remove your cap, and this is also where you can put your solution to keep it wet. Then you're just gonna rinse it with plain water and just tap off any excess from that. Then you're going to open either one and trim off the top. I just simply opened the packet. I didn't put it in anything else, and I ended up putting my pen right into the solution. And then you're gonna push and hold the calibration button. By doing this, you should see it say calibrate and then go into 4 zeros. This is the time that it's taking to find your calibration. Once it gets to that 4th zero, then it will tell you that it is at the calibration number and that it is all done. Then you have a perfect 7.0 calibrated meter. Then you're gonna rinse it off, and you're gonna do the exact same thing with the 4.0. Cut off the top and stick it in. I also noticed this one had a little bit of a pink color, so if you put it in a different container, you should be able to tell the difference. Go ahead and push and hold your calibration button once again. It will tell you it's calibrating and go into the 4 zeros that you're looking for. Once it's hit those 4 numbers, then you've got a perfect calibration of the 4.0. Now you can see in the corner there's a check mark next to the 4.0 pH telling you it's been calibrated. Every time that check mark is there, you know that it is calibrated and you don't have to mess with it again. I grabbed some water out of my tank, and look, it's a perfect 5.8, right where I wanted it to be, and I know that it's correct. When you purchase your Bluelab PH pen, it's gonna come in this nifty little box, and in that box comes with the packets that you saw. But I wanted to make sure I had extra on hand, so I got the pH kit to go along with the pen. You are going to get a probe cleaner, and this is just for the little probes. Obviously, you can take this and you can just rub it all over and then scrub it off. And they actually give you this cute little, looks like a travel toothbrush. You're also going to get a whole bunch of these little plastic cups, which, if Bluelab, you happen to be watching this video to see what I'm saying about your product, it's great that you sent these, and they've got the little twists at the top that maybe could have a lid. Could you send a lid? Because then I could put all of my solution right in these and it'd be perfect, but there's no lid, so it's just for dipping purposes, I guess, which I just used the bag. And it also comes with more of the calibration. So there's 2 of the 4.0, there's 2 of the 7.0, and then 2 of the probe solution. And again, this is what you want to be adding to the inside of your cap. I'm a big proponent of these little 10 milliliter syringes. I use them to add pH. I use them to add my CalMag. I'm using these to get out a couple droplets of that solution for the storage of the cap. Now, I know this isn't a review on the Truncheon EC commercial stick, if you want to call it, this guy, but I also did get the kit for this as well. You know, you gotta have everything to go with everything. This also comes with another probe cleaner, and from what I can tell, they look the same. One says pH and one says conductivity. So even though these little bottles look the same, if you have both, make sure you're reading on the outside that this one says pH and this one says for conductivity. Then you have a 2.77 EC, and that is if you need to calibrate this. This one doesn't have to be calibrated as much as the PH pen, but it's nice to have. It comes again with another one of these little plastic cups with no lid. And it comes with a little different type of a brush to scrub your probes. Now the pH test kit I purchased off of Amazon, of course, and this was $17, which was a pretty good deal and should last me a while. Now the one that cleans your EC meter was a little bit more, and this one was $27, but again, I don't know, you can get them on sale. You never know with Amazon. Throw them in your wish list, and if they go on sale, Amazon will definitely let you know. Now this is my sixth and final thing. It could be a positive, but it could be a negative. It depends on how much you want to put into your hydroponics. If you are brand new to this and you want to start out with one of these, that's fine. But we're gonna talk about price. So one of these little standard pH meters is around $6. This little TDS and EC meter, which again is your nutrients, is around $6. Now this one is EC and pH all in one. This one's a little bit more expensive and will run you around $40. So Angie, how much was the Bluelab PH Pen? Hold on to your hats. This goes for $119. But my little Amazon trick worked by having it in my wish list. I've been staring at it for a while, and I got a notification that it went on sale. It was on a lightning deal. I grabbed it for $70. And I'm telling you, as soon as I saw it was $70, it went in my shopping cart so fast, my head was spinning. Between this one for my cost of $70, or if you pick them up around $120, plus the truncheon, which is around $140, you're dropping a pretty penny on Bluelab. You're looking at something that is around $120 mark, and you're looking at something that is around a $6 price point. What do you think you're gonna get? You're gonna get a starter pH pen that you're probably gonna have problems with. You're gonna have to calibrate all the time. And who knows if you dump it in water and it gets all cloudy in there. Or you could buy something a little bit more expensive, what is considered top of the line for all hydroponic commercial growers, and just dive in and get the best. And the last point that I will make with Bluelab, either the ECs or the pH, they all have warranties. There's a serial number on the back, and all you have to do is go to bluelab.com and go register your product, and you will get an extended 1-year warranty. That to me is worth it than replacing and trying all these other different meters and never being happy with the results. Now I'm happy. I know what my pH is, and I know what my EC is. So let's continue to grow our hydroponics. If you are with me, take the time to grow with Angie. We'll see you on the next episode.